Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Andy and Candy Show. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 13, episode 19. This is part 1 of the reunion. As I said, this is the Andy and Candy Show. I sat here and I said, Candy is functioning more like an EP than a castmate. I felt the whole time like Candy was interviewing the girls alongside of Andy. That's how I felt. Now, y'all let me know in the comments. How did you feel? It just seemed Candy's role has changed. You seem to like have a lot to do with the goings on, pretty much. Not a bad thing. I mean, it is what it is. I guess that's why you make the big bucks, girlfriend. But anyway, welcome to the dungeon is the theme. And I was like, I need some explanation because when I looked at everybody, and by the way, everybody looks great for the most part. They all really do pretty much look great. I'm going to break it down a little bit. But I looked at everybody. All the girls are in these black gowns. And then Candy just busts out in her dungeon attire. I said, well, did she not get the memo? Was she trying to be different? I get it. Andy was having a good time. Andy loves the whole thing, and he loved Mistress Angel. So that's exactly what it's given. Candy is Mistress Angel, and they are all her subjects, basically. Is what that theme is. It's the dungeon theme. They're all dressed in gowns, and she is basically running the show. She's the ringleader, basically. I got it. I get it. It's cute, I guess. Let's start with the fashions. Listen, I thought this was very clever, Kenya. The whole Kenya has the black stones, black crystals, because those are not just stones, those are crystals, on her dress, and then they're actually glued to her neck. And she has the feathers and really sharp. I get it. I like it. Drew, you are on brand. You're on brand, though they gave you a cute dress. What is that shit on your ponytail, Drew? You always do something to, girl, it really, the whole thing with you and your clothes, it comes down to taste. It is a taste situation. What is that shit on your ponytail? And why is it necessary? Just take it off and it's a perfect look. But you had to do something to drew it up. And it looks ridiculous. Looks ridiculous. Cynthia, I don't like those feathers. You need more pronounced, because you got a lot of teddy, mama. You got a lot of teddy. And it's make the way it is, it makes your feathers look. It's like the way your dress was done, it downplays. You needed more feathers. Like another kind of feather. Something that was more stiff and yeah, to keep the drama up. Because it kind of got lost in all that teddy. Anyway, I did not care for Portia's hair. No, I didn't like that little Victoria do. I see where you were going, and I understood what you were looking for. But we've seen you, Portia, in a completely blue-black pixie. And I was wondering why you didn't do that. That's what you needed. A little pixie cut, you would have rocked it out. But those little waves that look like you did them yourself, that wasn't no Betty Boop. That was Betty Oops. Yeah, I didn't like that little Victoria hairdo. I didn't care for that at all. And Candy's look was she was trying to give you Kat Von D, baby. She was giving you Kat Von Von. Not quite Kat Von D, but Kat Von Von. It was good. It's good. Yeah, you did good, but you got to go a little bit, Kat Von D, girl. Kat she's that girl. But it's cute. It really is cute. Latoya, when Latoya came out, cheap much? Straight from the streets to right on into the ballroom. Okay, girl. Anyway, she looked pretty though, but it was giving you very cheap, not chic, but cheap. Anyway, moving on. Kenya and Portia. This whole thing of questioning her activism. She's like, "You're questioning my activism." And then Kenya told Portia, "Don't question my activism." But isn't that what you've been doing? Isn't that what you were doing, Kenya? And I'm just gonna jump right out there because I was guilty. I'm guilty too. Because in the beginning, y'all know I questioned it. I was like, is this a storyline or is Portia really sincere about what it is she's doing? I hope she's sincere and that she's not just doing this for a storyline. And I believe it's a little of both. No apologies. I believe it's a little of both. But Kenya's just being nasty. Flat out. She's just being nasty. And how dare you? You know, they called her out on that thing about, you know, her. Kenya's a narcissist. She is narcissistic and she has narcissistic responses. She responds to other things, to questions with more questions. And then she turns it and flips it. And she tries to point out hypocrisy in the person that asked the question. Girl, you're a narcissist. But you're guilty. You're calling her out on her activism and telling her don't question you on yours. Same, y'all got the same thing going on. Hush up, Kenya. You're being ridiculous. Anyway, Kenya and Drew got into it. And she told her, you called me and my husband strays. And you did do that, Kenya. You were nasty. Then she broke out and said, your baby's daddy's in jail. Whenever them two got into it and Drew told her, girl, your family not even under the same roof. And you sit up here trying to judge my family. And that's what she gave her, your baby's daddy's in jail. He not part of their family though, Kenya. So that don't work. He was in jail. Yes, he was. And he's not now. But he's not part of their family. The family unit is her and Ralph and the kids. So, no, that was a failed attempt, sis. It's a mess. Hypocrisy, narcissism, that's all the lane where Kenya lives. But whatever. Then they started up with this whole Indian costume thing. And then Kenya gave the whole thing of she's so sorry and, you know, she gets it. So that's it. That's all you can do. You know, it was offensive. She told why it was offensive. She researched it. And I'm not going to make that mistake again. Boom. That's it. That's cool. Portia tried to equate it to that Underground Railroad thing. Now, Portia, I'm not going to let you make it on this one, sis. Because the thing that happened with you with the Underground Railroad, you should have been shamed. And it ain't got nothing to do with who your grandfather is. But that was just icing on the cake. Because you come from this family that's so deeply rooted in social justice. And you talking about you don't know what the Underground Railroad is. You looked like a plumb idiot. And you'll never be completely redeemed for that. You was a plumb fool with that. That was stupid. And that's apples and oranges. That's apples and oranges. Okay? So just let that go. Let that go. Yeah, that's like somebody with a box fan arguing at a person that got central air. It's an oxymoron moment. Just leave it alone. Moving on. Now Ralph comes. Ciao, Kenya. We found Kenya then retweeted a tweet about Josiah's situation. I said, whoa, that is kind of, you getting all into it with the kids stuff. And Candy told him, I would really prefer that we didn't put kids into none of our stuff that we do. Like, she didn't put that out there for real. I would prefer we didn't do it. And Drew was telling her, and Drew was doing the most. Like, she was doing the most. She got to crying, and you were doing the most. But she told her, girl, listen, I just want to know how low are we going? Because I can go low. If you want to talk about kids, I can do it now. I don't want to do it, but I could do it. So I'm asking you, how low are we going? I said, oh, Kenya, you might not want to mess with that because your shit's raggedy, with your home life. But anyway, like I said, Candy shut that thing down real quick. Um, but they kept talking about the whole thing with Ralph and him, and he basically proved himself with his little disappearing act. He showed the receipts for the hotel and everything while they were actually in therapy. And look, that was good enough for her. Whatever. And they were asking, so where do you get the receipts for the stripper club? He's like, what stripper club? I ain't been in no stripper club. All that. It just was, that was one of the moments. If she like it, I love it. I didn't believe it. Candy didn't believe it. It was a mess. Then she talked about how Kenya was kind of like eyeballing her husband and she didn't appreciate it. And Kenya's like, no, I wasn't. No, Kenya, you were. And I remember back, I was like, yeah, she gushing over that man a little too much. And then, messy ass brother Andy, they rolled the bean footage and you see Kenya steadily flirting at and talk about that woman's husband. It was a bit much and it was a little cringy. It was. Gushing over Ralph, and it's all the same as like she did with Apollo. You did it. You guilty on both counts. Moving on. Then there was an issue after the break. One of Drew's staff people rolled up on Kenya's and gave her the blues and told her, we heard you were sick and here's some vitamin C for you. So she didn't got all upset. And Latoya's getting ready and she hears that she's back there. She said that she had a bladder infection. But then when she came out on stage, and she came right out swinging at Drew. She came directly on stage swinging at Drew, putting 20 on 10, and Andy had to slow her down and said, wait a minute, hold on, baby. Do you have a bladder infection or do you have a cold? Because you saying it was a cold, but we were backstage, you said it was bladder. I said, child, she lying, honey. That's what she doing, she lying. But anyway, that was that. She was going so hard. Latoya was going so hard after Drew. Told her, girl, call all the clothes that she wore during the season costumes. I said, oh, she got punching you, bitch. It was terrible. Called her SpongeBob. I said, oh my God. Just putting 20 on 10 and just being nasty. I said, oh gosh. And then told her, I'm the reason and the responsibility for you stepping your game up. Because you was looking a mess. I said, oh, Latoya. Let her have it. And this is where we are. This is where it broke out. And that's where they're going to pick back up next week. It was a good first episode. Good and messy. Good and messy. Yes, it was. I'll see y'all next week.